Hey guys, welcome to the studio. I'm so glad that you could join me today. I'm joining you from the floor of my studio where I'm getting ready to take these figures that we created in a previous episode and take this word and put it inside this figure. So in one of our previous episodes, I showed you how to laminate these words using a home laminator and getting them cut and ready to go inside the figure. And in another video, I showed you how we poured these into the molds and then pulled them out and trimmed them. So today we're going to drill a hole in the bottom, and then I'm going to show you how we roll this word up and stick it inside and seal it off so that they're ready to go in my installation. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab my drill here. I have it outfitted with a bit that I have determined is going to be the appropriate size so that I can drill into that figure, roll that word tight enough, and stick it inside. So first things first, I'm going to take and go as straight as possible into the figure. Take another one. And we'll do one more. As you can see, sometimes I move the drill around just a little bit, and that helps me to make the hole just a little bit bigger, and that way I don't have to roll the words up quite so tight. So, one thing that I want to note is that it is very important that if you're going to drill into plaster that it is completely dry. If it's not dry, you're going to end up gumming up the drill bit, and then you're going to have to drill through a piece of wood to get all of that plaster out, and that can just slow you down if you're trying to do this on a time frame. So now I'm going to show you how to take one of these words, move our bucket here, and we're going to roll it up super tightly as we possibly can. Which can be a bit difficult when you're using the laminator, but it's worth it so that the paper doesn't get destroyed when you put it inside. And I'm going to stick that down in there. Show you another one. Okay. Sometimes I'll take a needle nose pliers, and really shove them in there too. You want to get them just a little bit below the top surface of the figure so that I can seal that hole up. Get all the powder off of here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this patching plaster that I bought, and I'm going to use it to patch the bottom of this. Now this was a material that I actually had to seek the help of another artist to know what to use to go ahead and fill these holes. So I'm passing that knowledge down to you. So I'm going to take this big flat palette knife here and give myself a good amount of this patching plaster. Set my plaster aside and cover it up. This stuff likes to dry out fast. And then I'm going to take it a little bit and I'm going to start filling the inside of the hole. Now this is very similar to maybe filling a nail hole that might be in your house. So once that's done, then I go around these figures and look for any huge holes or I go around the figure and look for any places that need to be corrected or fixed, just to make each sculpture look its best. I'm going to set it off to the side and let it dry. Now generally when I'm working on these, I'll do anywhere from 25 to maybe 65 at a time. And the reason for that is to use my space in my studio efficiently. So that means that one day I can get the studio super dirty and have every other table set up so that these can dry on. And then the next day I do the last couple bits of the process. I can clean my studio and head back to the mosaics or whatever else I'm doing. We'll do this final one here. Now generally, I do have to come back on a second round and fill the bottom of this hole again and make sure that it is all level so that they'll stand. Get that all filled. All right, that's ready to dry. Now I have one here that, let's see, that I previously worked on, and I just want to show you what I encounter when I'm working on these. So if you can look very closely, the hands in this one are kind of rough. So what happened there was that when I molded it, this area had a big bubble in it, and so it didn't completely cast. So what I'm gonna have to do is fix that up. So I take my little sponge sander here, and I just lightly sand these areas to kind of get them to soften out. Again, the hatching plaster has to be really dry in order for this to work them like this, and I can usually do this the next day after I've fixed them up. So then I might even sand out a few other imperfections that I don't like. There, and now that one's going to be ready for work as well. So now that we have them done, they are going to be ready for exhibition. So without showing you, I'll just tell you the last couple steps. So what I do is once they're dry, I sand them all down and prepare them and make sure they stand. This way that when I go to make my installation, they are ready to go. Then I package them all up in a box and they're sitting in my studio just waiting for the next opportunity to be shown in the public. Guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm so thankful that I had this opportunity to share with you a little bit about my process and a little about what I do to make my exhibitions possible. So thanks for joining me. If you have questions, please feel free to email me. My email is ann@envisiongalleries.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.